I just came back from Savannah, Georgia to do my second interview with Quando Rondo. The first one was 5 years ago when he first started to really buzz. And he's currently on house arrest. So me and him start talking, and I'm like, yo, I want to do some shit with you. And he's like, I'm on house arrest. If you want to do something with me, you'll have to come down to Savannah. I said, all right, say less. I flew down, flew in a couple of my camera people. We rented a studio, and we knocked out this interview. Now, he didn't really want to touch on the King Von situation too heavily. He has talked about that, and that Von, the murder of Von was a very divisive situation in hip-hop. But I told him on camera that I don't think he did anything wrong. And we kind of left it at that. And what I realized as I was going through the research was that although Lil Tim did kill King Von, he was cleared because Georgia has a stand your ground law.
Right.
Because people are saying, oh, he wasn't the shooter, Von was killed by police. Nah, that's not what happened.
Well, let me ask you this, though, right? What did Quando do?
Meaning?
Well, you said he's not wrong for what he did. What did he do? Because all I saw was he was just getting punched in his shit.
You're right. I see what you're saying.
Not to disrespect him, because I've actually spoke to him. He's cool as a motherfucker, but he didn't really do shit at all. It was his people that did something. But I'll say this, though. After that happened, he had two choices, and I think that one would have killed his career. He could have either never talked about it or stand on it. And he chose to stand on it and drop a video wearing the same outfits from the night of the shit happened and essentially dissing King Von. So when you go that way with it, it's like, all right, now what's up for everybody? You know what I mean?
Well, when I said that he didn't do anything wrong, he's the boss. So anything that happens, whether he directed it himself, he is ultimately responsible for.
Right.
Things that your people do on your behalf, whether directly spoken or unspoken, that's you. As a boss, with a crew, with employees, with a staff, whatever you want to call it, I'm responsible for all their actions. And when they mess up, I have to come in and fix it. When they do well, I have to praise them for it. So had he said, Lil Tim crashed out and I told him not to do it and he completely disobeyed my orders and blah, 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 that would have been one thing. But the fact that he still rocks with Lil Tim, in fact, when him and NBA Youngboy dropped the album together, the first song has Lil Tim on it.
Yeah.
That's a big look for Lil Tim to be on a song with NBA Youngboy.
Nah, I mean, it's major all the way around the board, but it's just like, trying to go peaceful about that situation after it happened, I feel like would have killed his career. And because of that, he had to be disrespectful about it. Lil Tim was disrespectful about it. And now they got to stand on it. And it's like a lot of people are fans of Von. A lot of people wish that shit didn't happen, including myself. And it made people pick a side. And that's really just where shit's at right now.
Yeah, but that always happens. I always felt that situation was extremely similar to how Tupac died. You have a guy that attacked somebody out of the blue that should not have done it, and the immediate reaction to it is a murder that occurs.
Right.
Because of that person choosing to put hands on somebody. And I truly feel this way, man. Like, there's no such thing in life as a fair fight. I don't care who thinks it's fair, how fair you try to make it, whatever else. There's always going to be someone that has an edge over someone else.
Yeah, I've learned that from experience.
Yes. You can come into it thinking it's going to be a fair fight.
No, yeah.
But that other person they're trying to win and they're trying to get out of there with as little damage as possible.
Right. I mean,
So
I got size on me, so it's like when people see me on the screen and they see me in real life, they're like, "Oh, okay, he's a little bit bigger than expected." So I'm kind of used to getting hit with shit and jumped and all that. But yeah, in states where you got stand your fucking ground, you can't do nothing to somebody. You fuck around and push somebody the wrong way, they can shoot you, and they're not even
exactly
getting put in handcuffs. Police are
right.
coming. They're gonna see what happened, and they get to leave the scene. I don't even know if the gun gets confiscated.
Yeah.
So it's like, cause even with the Trayvon Martin situation, didn't he end up selling the gun or auctioning the gun or some shit?
Yep.
So it's like, stand your ground is fucking. You can't just be touching people.
And listen, I think what Zimmerman did was horrific
Yeah,
because he was basically hunting Trayvon for no reason. Because what? He felt that a black person is automatically a criminal in his
yeah,
neighborhood.
his
Like it
neighborhood
makes no
patrol or
sense.
some stupid shit. That whole thing
Yeah,
was.
yeah. It was established that Trayvon was just going home. He wasn't bothering anybody.
And he got people
Uh,
killed because of that.
what do you mean?
George Zimmerman.
He
What?
got people killed?
Yeah, inside of prison. There was a case with a guy, when the news came out that he did that to Trayvon Martin, there was a guy in prison that had a white cellmate. And the cellmate was begging to get let out of confinement. The COs ignored him. So he ended up beating the shit out of the black dude beat the shit out of the white dude and then started jumping off the top bunk onto his head until it squished and he fucking killed him because of, he did it for Trayvon Martin. That's what he was yelling out of the cell, that it was for him. So, a lot of there's shit that happens because at the end of the day, this is the South. That race shit, it's still, So when he did that, even though I don't think George Zimmerman's white at all, there were things that happened because of that. And then obviously the fact that there was no justice in the situation, it pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah. That situation was horrific. But I generally support stand your ground.
Yeah.
I feel that if you put your hands on me, I'm allowed to react in any way that I want.
I don't even have to put my hands on you. I could say, take those fucking glasses off and give them to me. And if you're in fear for your life, you can shoot me. Isn't that crazy? You just got to be in fear for your life. You can do what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I could see where this law could be abused. But in general, if you're with your man and this guy is like the savior of your neighborhood, Quando Rondo, he's the biggest rapper out of Savannah ever, and he's changed your whole life and the lives of everyone around you, and he's minding his business, and suddenly this guy suddenly attacks him out of the blue, and you protect him with lethal force, I don't see how people could get mad at Quando for this, or even Lil Tim for this.
They got to get mad at somebody. They're just gonna pick. I would hope that if I got into a situation like that, that I had somebody like a Lil Tim with me.
Right.
But I'm not justifying all the diss and the shit that came afterwards. Just in that immediate situation, that's what he was supposed to do.
Yep, I agree, which is why in the interview I said, I don't think you did anything wrong. And by you, I mean you and your whole team, with you being the head of it.
Right.